Welcome back, MTG Joe here, and we're playing a interesting deck. This is one I saw. It is a Jeff Hoogland deck. It is a 4-color Enigmatic Incarnation deck. So the namesake card of the deck is Enigmatic Incarnation. It's basically Birthing Pod, but for enchantments that gets creatures. It's basically on your end step, you can sacrifice an enchantment you control, search your library for a creature with converted mana cost 1 more than that card, and put it into your battlefield. So it's kind of toolboxy, draws a lot of cards, puts a lot of lands into play. Pretty sweet deck. I played it twice yesterday, won both games against blue-white control. So I thought we'd do a stream on it. So basically what we have will split into kind of 2 facets. You have your enchantments, and then you have your your creatures. So from enchantments, similar to the Doom Foretold list, you have Birth of Meletis, Omen of the Sea, Othakaya, and Treacherous Blessings. So removal, card advantage, pseudo card advantage, and blockers. These can all be sacked to the Enigmatic, and then you also have an Elspeth Conquers Death to be removal and then reanimate our creatures. From there, so our 2-drops can turn into either Deputy Detention or Uro. Uro can be cast from our graveyard as well. A couple Teferis in here just for the control matchup. We have Elite Guardmage that comes in on our 4-drop, so that can sack Othakayas or Treacherous Blessings. You have Atris and Elite Guardmage, both give us card advantage. Some give us life, some fill our graveyard. And then with Enigmatic, you can sacrifice multiple copies of itself. I can get Kenrith or Yarok. Yarok doubles all the ETB triggers, including those of the enchantments, as well as like Othakaya hits for 6, gains you 6. Kenrith in this deck can hit everything except the haste with its abilities, so you can actually reanimate creatures with it. And then you have a couple Dream Trawlers on the top end that you can turn Elspeth Conquers Death into. Mana base wise, you have some Fabled Passages, a couple duels, and then it's kind of all over the place. Sideboard wise, I might make one change in the sideboard. I think I just want another Teferi. So Teferi kind of serves the same purpose. Destiny Spinner and Teferi are both to prevent your enchantments or creatures from being countered. Destiny Spinner is a pretty decent body on its own as well. Disfigure versus the aggro matchup. The Spark can come in against like mono red to get rid of Torbrand or Embercleave. Also the bigger stuff as well. Another Blessing versus the grindier matchups. Night of Autumn can be tutored up to blow up enchantments or artifacts, or also gain you life. And then Ceratops is bringing it against blue-white. Comes down, it can block Dream Trawler for days. And it's kind of a sweet card to kind of round things up. So we'll play it out. We're on Plat 2, almost at Plat 1. And we're going to play Ranked today. This deck was pretty sweet when I played it, so don't mind playing it unranked. Sorry about that. Fix my webcam. So this week I'm going to be a little bit weirder on stream schedule. I got some family coming from town, so out of town, so I'm going to be hanging out with them. So we probably won't have as much coming out this week. Try to pre-record some stuff. If you're looking for content, every single video, we pretty much put one out almost every single day, is all up on the YouTube channel. Opponent goes first. I think we keep this. The Fabled Passage could go get an island. Fires of Invention. This might be Blue-Red Flash. So Teferi's probably something good in this matchup. I have not seen blue. Oh, Team-a-Wreck. So we want to get this growth, this Teferi down. So the problem is they can go Reclamation this turn. I think main board, this isn't probably the best matchup. Because Ceratops isn't probably that good. Well, I guess around Brazen Boar and Thing. So probably just want another blue source here. What do they have? I'm just gonna force it. If they have Thassa's Intervention. Mainboard Mystical Dispute. So they probably think we're Esper right now. So I kind of want them to think that. They can sack and scry here. And then I could do Enigmatic and then get out probably another Elite Guardmage goes over the top. And they opt. Main board, we don't have a way to get rid of Reclamation. See if they counter this. Could be a Brazen Boar, bounce, flash in. Okay, so Brazen Boar, bounce, flash it in. Fine, we'll play it out again. See if they have the counter. Okay, they dispute it. The fact they're playing Disputes main is kind of annoying. Kenrith. Seems like a decent follow-up. So we'll put in Destiny Spinners, bring in the Teferis, bring in Knight of Autumns. So play this out first, draw a card in case we draw an untapped source. Okay, the explosion, I can just Kaya this down. I gotta do the swamp. Gain some life back that way. One, two, three, four, five. With Kenrith, I can draw a card. I think we for 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe we just play out Enigmatic to bait a counterspell. Okay, they have Wreck. Play out Uro. Might bait the counter out of them. Since we drew that, I think we just play Guardmage. Next turn I can play this back. I just want to get ahead on land so I could draw a card off Kenrith. lets us play another land. So next turn I can go Kenrith and activate it to draw a card. Opponent's done a lot. Wonder if we're playing Austin Matthews from the Leafs. We're also keeping our life total relatively high, which is good against a wreck turn. They might just have, so even if they have explosion here, so that's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. They can 14 us. At the very least, it runs down some of their clock game one. The explosion for 8. They're gonna have to discard here. So even if we cast Uro or Kenrith, we can still counter. They Storm's Wrath. So I can Deputy of Detention at 3, or I can get another Uro. Start with attacking. I think we just go Kenrith here. We can gain 5 life if they try to go to explosion. Could just be Brazen Borrower. Okay, they opt. Because next turn I can also reanimate a Guardmage, which gains me some more life. So against this deck, I think the life gain's more relevant. Just because they can kind of combo and deal a bunch of damage to us. Okay, second wreck might be the end of us. This is probably a difficult matchup. So we can go Ceratops against them, which is very good. Even in bringing in the Knight of Autumns to blow up the Wilderness Wreck. This is likely an explosion. But we'll run him down on clock. Yeah, and they had 21. That's fine. Okay, so we want the Destiny Spinners, the Ceratops, this. The Sparks, probably no. Get rid of the Treacherous Blessings, they seem bad. Meletis could come out. Othakaya's fine because it gains us life and it's also some reach. Elspeth Conquers Death is also fine. Yark's okay, probably not the best, but it gives us ETB doublers, maybe cut down 1 Oath. No, but Oath helps us find a thing. Teferi's fine because it shuts off the instant speed. Probably Atris can come out. Maybe just play one Atris, cut down one Enigmatic, just because they can bounce with Brazen Borer, so it's not that much utility. Probably Yark here. The deputies seem pretty bad. Because like off 2 I can sack and I can just get the Knight of Autumn or Uro, and that's probably where I want to be. So we'll run it like that. They saw creatures, so they probably keep in Storm's Wrath against us. We do gain a lot of incidental life, which helps against this deck, but when they get the Cycling Reclamation out, it's pretty easy for them to win. We weren't pressuring them at a fast enough rate. I think we keep this. We have Omen of the Sea to help us draw into something. So this Omen is basically just looking for lands. So we got that and Fabled Passage. So Fabled Passage can help me find swamp or forest. I think we do this. I think we just jam it. If they have dispute, they have dispute. Drawing 2 basics into a Fabled Passage is kind of lackluster. Okay, that's pretty good. Because they could bounce here, we don't have a forest. Thought we had double forest, and they have negate. Because we really want Triceratops there. Because now they have the wreck. Okay, they opt. Okay, that resolves, which is nice. Gets that out of the way, taxes their next draw as well, and that'll get us to Teferi to the board. Okay, they Uro. They might have the Mystical Dispute up. The nice thing is with Teferi coming down, I could bounce the Uro, which would reset all the exile that they do. May want another forest, just if we're playing that much double green in the sideboard. Oh, this is pro blue, so we can attack through the Uro. Because if they have Storm's Wrath and I don't uptick Teferi, and then it dies to Stormwrath. Still think we do it though. We can... No, we can't double Othakai. We're one short. So just bounce this. It buys us a couple turns. So I'm just going to throw on some damage to them for this one at least. Probably going to sack this to scry. We want to make sure our next draw is not aligned. I can play out another Uro. It's fine, they have wreck. So it's weaker if we draw Enigmatic. Omen lets us dig a bit deeper.
Don't worry, I got you.
So they can always gain 3 life off this. That's perfect. Do you have anything in the yard? No. So if they do have a way to kill our board, Elspeth Conquers Death will save us a bit. As well as we do always have the option. We can tap for Elspeth, or like bounce our Elspeth to hand. So Uro takes them up. They could be looking to bounce Teferi. Just explosion it. That's fine because we get it with Conquer's Death. Even if they have Growth Spiral or a counter, it costs more here. Don't think we want Omen here. I think I just want Teferi because I could always bounce the Omen. So even if they have their spells are all +2 because of Elspeth Conquers Death here. They Uro. Second enough. So they don't have enough to Uro back. We do have lethal right now on the board. So they can float some mana. They can Chemister's Insight. They still have that tax. So even like the Brazen Bora. Hey Leo MTJ. It's going well. How about yourself? Thanks for stopping by. Let's just activate here. You know what, I think backup Teferi's fine. So with the trigger on the stack, they can always bounce. This is just explosion on Guardmage. They're also wasting a lot of clock. Okay, they're still dead. Because what I can do is Teferi, I can attack for 5, Teferi bounce the Oath to hand, and then recast it with. So get Teferi, loyalty counter. Bounce this to hand. Cast this. This is kind of why I like the Oath of Kaias. They're basically burn spells in our deck. And took him down. So when we get Teferi down, it's really sweet. We just have to obviously get it down. I think we run it back. Just as is. They're on the play this game, which does help them. They'll probably bring in Lava Coils this game. It's a clean answer for the Ceratops, which they have a hard time dealing with. If they didn't already bring in enchantment removal, I'd imagine they would. And like, you'd probably want hard enchantment removal versus like Brazen Borer. You don't want to reset our Conquer's Death. We just get another chance to exile there. I had my blue-white control opponent when I was playing last night with this deck to test it out. They played Teferi and they, for whatever reason, down-ticked it on Treacherous Blessings. So it sacks my Blessings, which was dealing damage to me, and they don't get the card draw. I wasn't sure what the line of thought was there, but we'll take it. Okay, so I don't think we can keep this hand. It doesn't really do much. Okay, this hand's better. I'm going to put Trawler back. We're a ways away from casting it. And I'm going to lead with a Temple. That's probably decent to keep in hand, to be honest. Obviously would have liked an untapped source there, so I could have Destiny Spinnered onto. Just keep our lines like this. So Destiny Spinner here. They haven't shown Stomp in this matchup, which is good for us. I think regardless I want to draw lands. We're not as necessary on black mana based off our current hand. They miss it. Okay. If that's the case, So next turn I can get this in with haste, so I'd rather do that. Just in case they have Storm Wrath. Yeah, so this is Jeff Hoogland's list. So he had 4 in the sideboard. I made a switch for 3 and Teferi. So it looks like a counter spell. So let's do this. I'm going to put it on top. Because I can actually bait them out a bit here. So they have Reclamation. So I can play Destiny Spinner. They could counter it potentially. And then I could play Knight of Autumn on the Reclamation. If they don't counter it, probably, yeah, it's probably Intervention. Probably just want another forest. So I got the swamp here. I got 2 white. I got 2 blue. Let's just get the forest. But they can Thassa's Intervention the spinner, no problem. I'm just using this as a bait card. Because they can't counter this anyways. I want to save this. Okay, so they Mystical Dispute. So I'm going to decline here. And then we're just going to play Knight of Autumn. I just don't want him to blow up Teferi yet. And then this presents a clock for them to deal with. Did they get Uro yet? No, they just seen a lot of growth spirals. For seeing 3 growth spirals and an opt. Okay, so they have another one here. Well, you can have all that in the world. But I'm going to hit you hard every single turn. So if they don't have a board wipe this turn or a way to deal with this Ceratops, we can then just Ceratops again, and then that's lethal. I do like this. We're just not playing counter spells in our deck. We don't really want to be holding up mana. I'm honestly tempted to go up another Ceratops. It's just a house against like Reclamation and blue-white. Like they have answers for it. But it's like if they don't line up well. Because even Expansion Explosion doesn't deal with Ceratops because it's pro-blue. Opponents also used 8 minutes more clock than us. And they bottom. Okay, well, even if they float a whole bunch, they're still dead. Like, they don't play Electro Dominance. They're just going to draw 5. Well, I guess if they have Aether Gust on the stack, they can Aether Gust us. Yeah, that's a problem. So if they draw Aether Gust, which they've shown they have, they can get Aether Gust on the stack for Ceratops. And then I'm taking 5 here. Okay, that's good. I think we just go for it. If you don't have Aether Gust, which they don't. GG. Sweet. Alright. So I'm 3-0 with this deck. The 2 that I played before. I do think I want 4 Ceratops side. And so I got 2 plains, 2 islands. Does it show the distribution of colored sources? Okay, so we're still pretty heavy on both of those, that's why. Do I just want another Ceratops? Yeah, we do. Alright, so I'll update the deck list once we're done, just in case we make changes. Let me just give Arena a quick reset, noticing a little bit of lag on my machine. And then we'll fire it up again. While this loads up, let me turn on the light. So we'll try to see. There's a couple brews I want to try after this, probably throughout the week. There was a blue-white affinity list I ran into on the ladder that was really sweet. Bunch of cheap creatures, and then it played Dance of the Mans to get all your creatures back. There's a blue-white Thassa list I want to revisit again. This hand's good. I still think we lead on Temple Deceit here. So I can go Swamp. I think we just get rid of the Swamp at this point. Because the thing is we need double white eventually. And then this should help us draw into something. So we're going to shock ourselves in. Fabled Passage can be a couple decks. It can be like Rakdos. Plains can generally not blue white. Okay, so it's Teamer or Jeskai Super Friends. Sorry, not Jeskai Super Friends. Jeskai Fires. So Deputy's okay in this matchup. It's more of a roadblock. So what I want to try to do is find the white source here. I think I go Uro. It gets us ahead on mana. Enigmatic can get Yarok. So 2 Enigmatics out gets Yarok, gets Uro, but I think we just need to try to go into a thing.
Sorry I'm late. Oh, I've done the hero thing.
Yeah, if they get fires next turn, it's pretty bad. Just gonna do the scry this turn, and we'll get the white source next turn. So the problem is we're kind of 2 white short.
I've got it.
I go Sphinx here. So I can set up Enigmatic. It can get the Deputy, which I think we just do that. Deputy can get rid of Sphinx of Foresight. Teferi would bounce it. Or they bounce the Enigmatic. So let's do that. So let's get Deputy. Let's get rid of this, because the thing is, they can have Clarion. So if they Clarion, then they get their Teferi back. Here they have to choose what they want to bounce. Okay, so they Clarion. So now I can fetch a white source. This also adds cards for Uro to come back. And then what I can do is Othakaya here. Now I can Uro, get ahead on lands. Or I can Deputy. I think we just Deputy and slow him down a turn here again. Deputy's not that good in this matchup. Okay, so they just haste in. No blocks here, obviously. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Getting Kenrith off the table is important before they can untap. And that's our play in that. We're not blocking with this, so we're just going to attack in. So I think we just play the Uro for the life gain. It also draws us a card, so just play that into play tapped. So I can get Dream Trawler. But I think we just take the reanimation. We'll take the Elite Guardmage here, gains us some more life. Okay, the Cavalier. So they can give the haste here for the trample. This has 2 lands. So I'll just block the more damage here. With Deputy of Detention, I'm going to get rid of Kenrith. This is also good because it puts a counter on it, so it can't die from Clarion. I've seen all my Uros already, so one sec. Let's play Atris out first. Let's choose this pile. It's fine, we couldn't play Yark anyways. Just go face. And then I can scry after we shuffle that away. Let's get Elite Guardmage. So the second Cavalier here. So I'm going to double block here. Takes one of these off the field. And then we'll flash this into Scry. Try to find Conquer's Death. Even Teferi just makes them spend all their mana. So, what are we getting rid of? Omen, this. This is also 6 power. So I have 4 from that. So if I play this, I play this, and then if I sack an Enigmatic, I can get Kenrith out, and then I can gain some life. And this way I can gain some life. So gain 5 life here, which basically just fogs this. So I can put a whole bunch of counters on it too. Yeah, they're dead there. So they never drew fires, but we kind of grinded them out. The Spark's great in this matchup. Knight of Autumn, just to blow up the fires. Do we want Knight of Autumn though? So Knight of Autumn can blow up. Okay, so Treacherous Blessing's a gamble here. Probably Knight of Autumn's. Atris isn't that good. Ceratops blocks the flyers, but also the 5/5's better. Yarick's not that good in this matchup. Just because like their stuff's bigger than Yarick, it has lifelink, but they can probably get around it with the trample. And then probably shave down one, or Othakaya's not as good here. So this might, they might switch and then play Robber of Riches. Deputy was okay there for us, but it is a bit of a liability. Just play these guys. They're not going to counter. They're not going to, like Teferi's kind of just a roadblock for them. Maybe we play the Yark. Birth of Meletis is kind of lackluster, so let's play Yark. Be happy if we can take this one down. I'm just going to lose their mana this game. No lands into 2 lands that don't hit anything. Well, they multi 5, so maybe we get there. Problem is I need like multiple colors here. That is multiple colors. Stomp. Okay, so this is the Bone Crusher version. 5 cards, hit your lands. Another untap source isn't bad because it lets us play Othakaya to take care of the Bone Crusher. Okay, that's probably a better one. Untapped white source. So I'm going to do this because next turn I can Enigmatic this and then get probably my choice really. I can go Guardmage. Let's set this up. Do you have counter spells? So I can do this to draw a card, or I can just start setting up Ceratops to pump through stuff, because it looks like they're going to probably 5-drop. But I kind of want to hit a land drop, so let's do this. Okay, perfect. Because whatever their 5-drop is this turn, they're just going to double stomp. Okay, so even if we played Ceratops, it would have died. At least we got some value out of this. And we got the Spark. So the thing is, we can't despark this turn. So let's just play this out. Take this off the board. Play this tapped. This is interesting. They're going to value the Ceratops. Okay, they do. That does get them back the things. But I can Conquer's Death their Conquer's Death. Or actually... let's do this. Draw a card. Just take this off the battlefield. I just don't want them to get their value. We can get our engine going. Teferi can bounce, but it's not really much value. We're just going to uptick. That's fine. So I can do this, give it haste. I can do this. I think we just do this. Do this, exile this. And then just get Dream Trawler and try to close out the game quick. It's fine. Enigmatic did what it needed to do. Okay, so they have Cavalier. So I'm going to bounce the Cavalier because it gives us another card draw as well. Interesting, they don't attack. So I'm doing this to keep up the blue. So bounce you. Arrow's actually pretty solid. So let's do this with the most information possible in case I get another. So I'm going to pay 2 life here. So although we missed out on the damage with drawing the cards. Okay, so we just got a stack of enigmatics. Okay, they get fires back. That's sweet, because now it gets us to push through damage. So even if they block Dream Trawler here, so we'll see how they block. It's probably on the Trawler. So that screws up their shuffle as well. I wish this was a blue source, cause then, or a green source, because then I could have Urrowed. So I think we just set up like this, because next turn I can play out Omen of the Sea and Enigmatic, and then I can blow up their fires. And they have Cavalier. So we gotta get a point of damage through. We're seeing if they could combo kill us. Almost, actually. Got him. Hello, good luck, goodbye. This deck's sweet. Alright, Plat Tier 1. Okay, been going for about an hour on this one, so I'm going to wrap it up. Thank you all for tuning in. I'll be back later this week, a couple other brews. In the meantime, if you want to catch any of the other content, everything we've played on the stream is on my YouTube channel, MTG_Joe. Pretty much about 4 to 6 videos a week, depending on how the week goes. So there's a whole bunch of standard content from Arena all up on YouTube now. Thanks everyone for stopping by, and have yourself a great day.